Okay, so hello, welcome to another round of the multi-class action on Le Mans Ultimate. So this evening we're at Le Mans, the actual Le Mans circuit in France. And this evening I'm joined by Tom Simpkins. So we've got some company this evening. Say hello, Tom.
Hi Paul, good evening. Yeah, another perspective this evening. Got no sound on my stream at the moment, so I'll be just talking about pictures, but we should be okay.
Okay, and that's your stream, not the actual stream, I'm hoping. If there is,
I'm hoping to.
Yeah, if there is sound on the actual stream, please let us know in the chat as always. You are our sound engineers, just to tell us that we do have sound coming from your speakers. So we're currently looking at Kyle Wright. He had a bit of a nightmare at the round 4 in Spa. He retired from that ultimately after quite an action-packed first few laps. But yes, hopefully he'll be hoping for a better race this evening.
Yeah, it's looking to be quite interesting. A healthy grid once again. 12 minutes left on qualifying. But just remind me, Paul, what is the format for this evening?
As far as I know, having not checked the format for tonight, it will just be an single hour race. So that's certainly what it was last week. I'm currently just busy sharing the stream because I've just realised I haven't streamed. I haven't shared the link with anyone. Let me just get rid of that. So just bear with me. Apologies. And I'll also check the format while I'm there. So if you give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back with you.
Oh, talk amongst yourselves. So quite a long outlap here. The guys taking some time to run the vehicles around, get them prepared, get the tyres in the right operating window. Hope they've put enough fuel in. I don't know what the theory is on Le Mans Ultimate for mixing between single hot laps and chucking in a few laps. I imagine with an outlap this long, they will do a few runs. So as Paul said, Kyle Wright leads across the line to start a flying lap.
Okay, I have confirmation that it is a single race this evening. 60 minutes. So we have the qualifying now, and then straight into an hour endurance race. And I think as far as sim racing goes, we can call an hour an endurance race.
Very good.
Right then, so it looks like I say somebody's watching the stream. That's probably yourself and me, Tom, to be honest.
No, I'm not watching.
You're not? Oh, okay. Whoever else is in the stream, just let us know in the chat if you can hear the audio. Obviously, hopefully the game and our voices. And we should be good to go. Right, let's have a look at somebody else, shall we? Let's just close this down. So currently nobody is setting obviously fast laps just yet. Tom just touched on it here, the theory about brimming up with fuel is probably the way to go, I dare say, because Le Mans is such a long lap. By the time the tyres get up to temperature, you're probably looking at 5 or more minutes into a stint. So I dare say it's worth fueling for 3 or 4 laps and just getting your head down and getting a good lap in. But like we say, what we're looking at in terms of lap time around here, is it 2 minutes or so? I can't remember what it is around here, Tom.
I've just finished my dinner, mate. I ain't got a clue. 2:10. Should we take bets? I don't know.
It's an awful lot
from me.
Well, I've been watching the F1, and that's a really short lap. And I know Le Mans like the opposite end, so I'm going with 2.5 to 3 minutes. Sector 1 looks like it's 40 minutes. Oh, 40 minutes?
What?
40 seconds. 30 33 seconds for the first sector, and then we've got 84. So we're already blown my lap time out of the water. So 2 minutes. We're probably looking at 2.5 to 3 minutes, I think. Who's furthest around a lap? Who we got? Alex McGee. He looks like he's still... Well, how can we not know the lap time around Le Mans? This is terrible. This is the high quality broadcast you've got today. So bear with us.
Use AI to tell us what an LMP2 time is round.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've got multiple classes, don't we, Paul?
We do, yes. So we'll quickly
wow,
just...
tell me more about that.
Yeah, so tonight we have LMP2, which is, let's say, the top class for this evening. There's no hypercars this evening, so we have LMP2, and then we have the LMP3s and the LMGT3s. So the LMP3s and GT3s, it's a hell of a mouthful, they're quite similar on lap time, and I think round here, because of the fairly long straight, should we say, they might even be quite comparable on lap times. The LMP3 cars much quicker in the high aero stuff, so you know the first sector that we're watching Alex McGee go through here, he is actually in LMP2, so these are much quicker around the corners and also much quicker on the straights than GT3s. But yes, if we have a look at one of the LMP3s, so you can see the colours on the tower, the timing tower. The green is GT3, the blue is LMP2, and the purple colour is your LMP3s. So currently looking at Sam Wooldridge in that LMP3 car. So the lap times at the moment are 3.5 minutes for LMP2. So I was way off, about a minute off. So it looks like we're looking at about 3.5 minutes per lap. So yeah, if you think about the fuel to stick in for this qualifying session, you're probably best just not brimming it, but enough for 15 minutes of running, and then just getting your head down and trying to get a good lap in.
I'd like to just confirm I've not raced Le Mans, so...
Le Mans circuit or the game?
Both.
Both. There we go.
I know where the track goes, but I've not done a proper race there, so not knowing the lap time.
I mean, I've been here in person, and I don't know the lap time, so we'll just leave it at that. We're not it's information we're not expected to know. Let's put it down to that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got far more vital information to store in our little mushy brains. Okay, so at the top currently, Kyle Wright, again in the P2 car.
He's done really well there.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands, obviously we know the tyres are coming up to temperature, but he's way ahead of the next contender, which happens to be Alex McGee. He's about 4.5 seconds down currently, but we do expect this to change. Only 5 minutes to go though, so just thinking they're probably going to finish this lap plus one more, and that will probably be the lot. So only 3 laps realistically. So they're going to really have to make this count, and they're not going to be able to make too many mistakes in order to be somewhere near the front of the field. Wally Johnson, which I think you'll agree is a very good kind of NASCAR name, and he's got the right car to suit. Currently on pole for GT3s. GT3s doing 4-minute lap times at the moment, around 10 seconds slower than the LMP3 car. So there's a little bit of a spread between each of the classes, but could get quite interesting in certain sectors of the lap, maybe getting in one another's way. Andrew Wellborn in the chat. The European Le Mans Series LMP2 is less restricted than the World Endurance Championship version. So the 3:30 lap time is fast. There you go. Hypercar is around 3:25 stroke 3:23 for a quali lap. So I don't know what's going on with Kyle, because he's basically lapping in the same time as a hypercar here. So very good pace from Kyle Wright early on. And hello to Andrew. Somebody has just left the server. I'm not sure who that was. Josh Copeland currently struggling. This is LMP2 car. He's not yet put a lap time in, so maybe issues on the first efforts. Let's not forget, because of that restriction on how many laps you're going to get in to this qualifying session, if you go off on the first or second lap and damage the car, your chances of fighting for the top spots are pretty much over. Josh on a slightly better lap this time round. I can see that he's on fairly good pace, so that should put him in contention for some higher up positions.
Yeah, fair bit of field spread, but those warming up, Chandler closing the gap. Waldridge just jumps up there. Some close gaps in the purple class. Zenko to the top of the green ones.
Maybe we'll stick with that green, blue, and purple.
Yeah, but I'm partly colourblind, so I was like blue, purple. Yeah,
it's not the best, not the highest contrast in colours, is it? Really?
Certainly not. No, with 5 cars yet to set a time. Do we have 20 or do we have more? Is that just 20's limitation?
We have 20 cars, so that
cool.
menu is correct, which is quite a nice coincidence because the menu can only show 20 cars at a time. The cars that haven't yet set a lap time, Youssef Mazura has set a lap time, but it's quite a way off. It's 5 seconds off the next car. So we've got Youssef, Phil Nauder, Lorne Martin, Tom Smitty, Igor Jurovic and Mike Sutty. So all of those cars yet to set a lap time, and quite a few of those on outlaps. So their tyres will be quite cold. So it's going to be a couple of laps before they start banging in the quick lap times. Looks like Joe Challoner is still on an outlap. So he's actually done kind of a push lap and then pitted. So quite an interesting strategy from Joe Challoner there.
He's just had enough.
Quite possibly.
One and done.
One and done. But he's out there having another go. So we'll see how he gets on. Because this is still his outlap. So he's still getting the tyres up to temperature in that nice kind of chrome rising sun livery. I'm not sure whether that's... I think that's an official livery, isn't it? I'm not sure which team that is. But we have the 4 LMP2s at the top of the times, but then we have the P3s of Sam Waldridge and Tristan Torley in 5th and 6th overall in the P3 cars. And then Gert Swart, apologies if that's not how we pronounce your name, he's currently in 7th overall behind those P3s, so he'll be looking to improve on that 3:56 lap time and get in amongst the rest of the blue class, which is the P2s. And then, as Tom quite rightly said, Matti Zenko on pole in the GT3s, which is the green class.
I'm still going to forget that.
It'll come, I'm sure. I mean, we'll just look at the cars. That's the easiest way to tell.
It's not.
But the way to tell the P3s is the headlights, so that you can see all the P3s have got. They're all the same cars essentially. They've all got like this outline around the lights. You can just see on Tristan's there. Let's see if we can find another car on the circuit. Here we go, Lorne Martin. So yeah, the DRLs kind of come around the headlights.
And
so
that giant box that says P3 in it, that probably gives it away as well, Paul.
Sometimes that can be helpful. Sometimes, yeah. But I look at the headlights. Depends on the resolution, really. But if we look at the P2 cars, they all look quite a lot different around the headlight area, I would say. It's like a stacked
like the headlight area where that box is on a P2, where it says P2.
Yeah, so where's the P2 sticker? See, look, there's no P2 sticker.
They've removed it. Custom livery. Challen has removed it.
See, there was method in the madness. Anyway, that is qualifying over apparently. So this is this has been the most spread out, random qualifying for a multi-class event I think we've had so far. So there's only really Joe Challoner in the P2s, which is the blue class. 2 rhymes with blue. How about that?
Two's a blue. Cool.
Two's a
I can do
blue.
that.
And then Matty
Give me a
Zenk.
nursery rhyme to work out what's going on. I'll be fine.
I mean, we can go into singing nursery rhymes later. Definitely. Oh, I was about to say Wally Johnson was on a lap, but Troy Fry in the GT3s. There's only a couple of people. So Joe Challoner, Troy Fry, Jakub Barczynski. I think we'll go with that. Barczynski. Oh, he's actually pitted now as well. Oh, somebody has left the server as well. Sorry, I'll try and stick on with the cars that are actually on a lap. But yeah, we did have 21 cars temporarily. Now we're back down to 20. But let's just stick with Joe Challoner. Let's see what he can do on this lap time. Let's see if we've got any qualifying data. We probably should have had this up for the rest of the 15-minute session, but it's usually wrong, so I wouldn't get too upset about that. It looks like his first sector was pretty good, middle sector not great, and if that's his own lap time, then he's got quite a bit to make up in the third sector, but as we know, he's only done 1 lap so far, so it's quite easy to make up that time as it comes into the final kind of complex section here at Le Mans. The final left, right, can he keep it all together? It looks like he was a little bit tentative on the throttle, but he crosses the line in a 33.3, so second position, and I think that's where he was anyway, so 3 seconds off Kyle Wright, but a reasonable lap all the same for Joe Challoner, and he's the final person to cross the line. Hopefully all the boys that are racing will jump in the stream if they get chance to check the Discord between this and the race start, because it is an hour long, and I'm sure we're going to have plenty of victims as we did last week. We had
teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Hymns are plenty. Very good.
Yeah, very high attrition last week.
Just the one opportunity this week as well. No second race, so plenty of time to try and recover, though. Should we take that as a positive?
Yeah, just the one actually. So yeah, the only problem with having one race at 60 minutes is it can get a bit boring, to be honest. But hopefully that won't be the case, and at least you can see what's going on this week. Last week was very, very difficult to keep track of, whereas hopefully this evening we're everything's a little bit more visible. You'd have had a hard time. You couldn't read the stickers last week. Maybe that's why I've been looking at the headlights. That would explain it, wouldn't it?
Certainly would.
Right then, as we just wait. Okay, so we'll just quickly go through the qualifying positions, just the first couple of each class. So for LMP2, we've got Kyle Wright, Joe Challoner, and Josh Copeland managing to put in a lap eventually to take third in LMP2. And then we have Sam Wooldridge on pole for LMP3 with Tristan Torley next to him in the pink car. And then Lorne Martin slightly further behind them. Only 3 in the LMP3 cars in the black car, as we see there. Who's that not getting away? Trying to see who that was. That's Gert Swart, who appears to be AFK in the 62 car. I think I just saw it move. He's going to have to get a move on if he is going to hope to not have a penalty. And then for some reason we've got Matty Zenko in the pit lane, who's supposed to be starting on pole. So another latecomer to the grid. So the pole man from GT3 not making the start. Bit of a disaster for Matty Zenko there. He will be able to join from the pit lane, but he will start from the back of the GT3 pack. As the cars...
Yeah, so they've got... Oh, go on after you, Paul.
It's fine. It's okay. You go.
Oh, it's just waffling on. They're going to start through the chicane, aren't they? So the cars further down the field will be mid-apexes of chicane before they get going? Or is the start line further up?
So the start line, I think, is further down. I don't think it's the same as the finish line at Le Mans, but I could be wrong. And then there will be a gap to the GT3s. There should be a gap to the P3s as well. I'm just trying to see if there is actually a gap there. Yes, there is a small gap. So I will try to jockey the cameras here, Tom. If you would do the honours as always, that would be fantastic.
We can most certainly have a go. We get a green light. I was right. They are in the chicane for the start. There's whatever the big road-looking cars are at the back, all squabbling to get out of the chicane. There were polystyrene... oh dear, that's contact early on. That's Challoner. Well, of course it's Challoner. Just doing Challoner things. There he goes over the Dunlop Hill. And you'll be lucky if no one rear-ends him, because that's rather blind over there. So Joe sacrificing the time to try and not get a penalty, having not really done turns 1 and 2. All right, I'll talk about the corners, Paul. I'll let you talk about the straight. So Joe's back up to speed. He has dropped to the back of his category. He comes past Sam Waldridge just to even out the two categories there. So that's a P2 ahead of the P3s. Back in what I assume are the GT3s. There's a Mustang that would have camouflage to blend in with I don't know what. Heading side by side, that is Troy Fry falling in behind Johnson? Not Matty Johnson. That's
Wally Johnson. Wally Johnson.
Fantastic. So they are trading places into the chicane. Johnson stays ahead. That's a wonderful move around the outside from the Aston Martin. The inside line for the Beamer, very respectful. Phil Nauder, give yourself a pat on the back. You might have a Corvette in the back in a moment, actually, as the slipstream plays out here.
Terrible. Terrible.
I didn't think that was bad.
Terrible
They
views.
are going to be 4 wide. Are we going to have 4 wide? Are we going to have bump drafting? No, the McLaren doesn't have the straight line. Aston Martin to the inside. Can he get it rotated? Beamer the long way round. Fantastically played there by Phil Nauder. He's got his way through the chicane, remaining ahead. Corvette to the inside of BMW. Herridge has now got Tyrone for company. 3 wide once again. Get your popcorn out. It's going to be a long evening. This is an hour long, but it can be won or lost on the first lap. That's a lie. It can only be lost on the first lap. Beamer going deep. Beamer through. Beamer gone. Very good. So Corvette versus McLaren, and that's going to be another McLaren. Basinski getting involved, I believe. Here he is, Jacob. Anglicised the pronunciation of your name there. Apologies. Here we go. McLaren doesn't seem to... Does he have the legs?
Yeah, it seems to be lacking a little bit of straight line speed there, doesn't he? Oh, and he's got
Yeah, no, look,
a
we've
car
been mugged.
alongside,
That was
yeah.
Beamer to the outside.
Wow. Much better on the brakes, it seems. Yeah, he was just getting absolutely dropped there by the... Is it the Corvette? What's that one?
Yes.
The Corvette.
The red one's the
The
Corvette,
red one's Corvette. And is that a McLaren ahead? It is. That's another
It
McLaren.
is.
So it'll be interesting to see if...
The bread of the sandwich, sponsored by McLaren.
Yeah, Marco coming. Let's quickly switch back to the front because we have focused on this GT3 battle a little bit. So we have Kyle Wright, who's opened a massive gap, 3 seconds in front of Yuri Van Dongen in second place, who's coming under pressure from Joe Challoner, making that recovery drive. So Joe Challoner gets through. Yuri's now under pressure from Alex McGee. He takes the runoff in order to get out of the way of Alex McGee. So these three fighting hard for second, third and fourth in LMP2. And then Josh Copeland, where is he? A little bit further back, so he must have had an incident as well. So Yuri van Dongen found himself going down from, well, first of all, found himself in second position, and now back down to fourth with Joe Challoner all over the back of him.
Things that will haunt you. So that's Sam Wooldridge facing the wrong way. I was facing the wrong way when that happened. How has he been tripped over in the GT3 pack?
I think I saw his name falling down the pack, so there's been an incident with one of the other two LMP3 cars, and that was him just rejoining because he'd lost so much time. He dropped back down into the GT3 class, so not exactly sure what happened to Sam there, but no,
And
not
Swart.
good. Yeah, actually, yes.
Wooldridge. Oh, Swart.
So Swartz lost it after that late arrival to the grid, and Sam Wooldridge has gone into the pit side. Sorry, no, he just went straight on. He's not even on the pit straight, is he? So not a great start for Sam or Gert. So they're languishing back of the field for now. So that'll leave Tristan Torley leading the P2 class, and he's got quite a big gap back to Lorne Martin, only 5 minutes into this race, and already a huge gap for the two contending P3 cars. And then we have Wally Johnson. Oh, he's got a penalty, so he's currently leading GT3, but he's got a penalty. That's what those 3 red arrows mean. So he will be coming through for a drive-through, I think, on the next lap. And then that'll leave Troy Fry as the leader of GT3 so far. And then Phil Naudo side by side with Hamish Herridge.
I think we've established now that the BMW is very good in a straight line, but Phil has been absolutely fantastic into the braking zones. The Beamer tries to sweep around the outside. Phil's going to try and do it again. Hold on. Is it the old switcheroo? Oh, not quite. Not quite, but he's tucked in well. Good run off the corner. Lives to fight another day. A very close inspection to a Beamer. Normally this is the other way around. This is M25 levels of tailgating. Just the wrong way around. You wouldn't normally be doing that in an Aston Martin. Right then. Yeah, who's going to brake earlier? Outside line for Phil in the Aston Martin. He's going to brake later. Draws alongside. Just a little late, tucking under, so wasn't able to get a switch back, and we run on to the back straight. You can already tell that Paul has favourites. Paul prefers GT3.
It's purely because there's 11 GT3 cars and only 6 P2s and 3 P3s. But let's have a quick look at the gaps, because the P2s are fast, and the potential for field spread is quite high. We've already seen the car in second position, so Joe Challoner going back into P3s and then making his way through a decent rate, it has to be said. He's putting in some good laps in that P2 car, followed by Alex McGee a little bit. Oh, and that's Yuri van Dongen has lost it in the final chicane, and that has allowed Josh Copeland into 4th position overall and 4th position in class of LMP2s. So Yuri van Dongen, after having that great first few laps in second position, down to 5th in LMP2. But don't worry, Yuri, it's not as bad as Gert Swart, who looks like he's DNF'd actually, so we've lost one of the P2 cars from this race. Oh, what's happened here? Another retirement for Lorne Martin. He was currently running in second in P3. So Sam Wooldridge, after having that incident earlier on, is back up into P2 in the LMP3s. And Lorne Martin also retires from this hour race less than 10 minutes into the race. So Tristan, all you have to do is keep it on the black stuff now, and you should take a P1 in class this evening. Just 50 minutes to go.
You sound insulted, Paul.
Insulted?
Disappointed?
Because of
Other people leaving.
Oh, I mean, it's terrible, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure it wasn't through choice and more a skill issue, but it's always a shame, because if we lose 2 people every 10 minutes, then we're not going to be left with many cars. How many is that we'll have at the end? 1, 2. It will have about 8 or 9 cars by the end of the race, which wouldn't be fantastic viewing. I'm sure you'll agree.
Not ideal, no. There we go then.
What's going on here? Right, okay. Jeremy Tryon is in the box in GT3, so he was running mid-pack of GT3s, but then also Sam Wooldridge in for a stop very, very early for these two.
Apologies, I called him Tyron earlier. I'm Lizdistic.
Yeah, it's like a try-on like you would some ladies' underwear. Yeah, that kind of try-on. So I'm interested to why these guys are in the pits so early. This can't be for fuel, so maybe damage, or maybe they've forgot to reset the fuel after qualifying, possibly. That could be a possibility.
Sounds feasible. Or it's just a short stint. I don't know why. 10 minutes in though, you're not going to offset your strategy that early on, I don't think.
No, Andrew, if you are still watching, can you get yourself in the Discord and please report back to us with an update on why these two have pitted so early. Mainly Sam, because I know he'll probably be in the chat, but yes. Chop Chop will pay you in some currency. Okay. So Tristan carries on leading LMP3 for now. Wally Johnson, he does have that penalty to serve, but he's soldering on at the moment, and it looks like he's got really good pace because Troy Fry is losing time. The lap times the last time around for Wally Johnson, who's in P1 of the GT3s, was a 4:02.3, and Troy Fry was a 4:05.5, so 3 seconds a lap slower at the moment, Troy Fry. But what's this? We have Hamish and Phil going at it once again. A quick note on Matti Zenko, who started from the pit lane. He's up to 8th in GT3s, so he's seen off 3 of the cars so far, so he'll be looking to make good progress. But his last lap time was also his first lap time, so very slow. But yes, he's coming through the pack. Defending there from Hamish in the BMW. Phil goes for this switchback and gets a good traction out of the right-hander, but we do know the BMW is very, very quick in a straight line, so can that Aston Martin hang on to take the inside for the next corner?
Yeah, we're going to find out pretty soon. Aston Martin, long way round, becomes the inside.
Oh,
Sweeping Beamer, though. These two having a fantastic battle in the first 10 minutes. That's going to be thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah, that was a lovely sweep from the outside, just left his brake in and his lift off a little bit later and just swooped across the front of Phil, and Phil had no reply, and he's wide off the circuit there as well. So a good little scrap between these two with 47 minutes to go.
Certainly has been most enjoyable so far. Looking fairly nimble, and I like seeing the suspension movement in the physics somewhat more than other titles. Our first visitor to the pits for the GT3s, the front runners, Johnson into the pit lane.
Yeah, so will this be his drive?
Penalty.
Yes. Looks like it is, doesn't it? No sign of any pit activity, no, and he serves that penalty and he comes out in 8th position in GT3s, just behind Tom Smitty, who we just saw go through in the cameras there. I'm going to quickly switch on to Matti Zenko, who was rapidly closing down Jakub Barzinski in 5th position in the orange and black McLaren that you can just see just in front of the 89 Mercedes there. So this shaping up to be a good battle.
Certainly does look that way already, Paul. Yeah, that's entertaining. What have we got? Nauda and Herridge right on the back of Nauda.
Just watching, as Matti Zenko comes across the front of Jakub there, really, really close. As we'll try and switch onto this little battle, because there was 2 very close battles there. I think Matt Zenko will pull away from Jakub So again,
Yeah, these two. What's happened? Sorry, yeah,
Ooh.
there's Jurovic is in between. Sorry, I saw a lone car in the middle. I wondered what was going on.
Yeah, so that's Igor Jurovic between these two battles, these two side by side. So Phil Nauder on the outside again, takes loads of curb on that first left-hander, but it gives him a good run through the rest of the corner, and he should get good traction and be right in the slipstream of Hamish Herridge in the blue Valentino Rossi liveried. Oh, it's not actually a Valentino Rossi BMW. I just saw a blue and yellow and assumed. Or is it? I can't tell. Is that just a monster livery? But
Barzinski's got a problem. Ah! He's dropped down the field. Oh, he's back. What? I think we've got lag. He disappeared down the field and then came back.
Yeah, because he was just taken by Zenko, yes, and Wally coming through after serving that penalty. Yeah, which is what you would expect. So not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe some...
I don't know.
And naturally,
We
as we
looked away.
switched away, something
We looked away to
happened.
someone lagging.
Yeah, that's the quality you get here. Right, so that's going to put Phil Nauder almost in the clutches of Igor Jurovic. Igor, we don't think has quite got the pace of Phil Nauder, but you know, we did see last week actually Phil Nauder struggling with tyres around the halfway point. It's a little bit early for that now, but we did see him really struggling early on with tyres. Oh, and that's that was Wally Johnson in the background, absolutely sideways in the Mustang. So he's lucky to hold on to that, and he's got Jakob really close behind him, taking full advantage of the track width there.
It was on the grass.
He absolutely was. Certainly wasn't on the racing line. Let's have a quick check at the gaps at the front. Oh, Josh Copeland closing in on the back of Joe Challoner in LMP2. So the gap from Kyle Wright in pole to Alex McGee is 7.5 seconds, and then Joe Challoner a further 4 seconds behind him. And then this is the battle between Joe Challoner and Josh Copeland, only 1.1 seconds in it. Yuri Van Dongen, after that promising start, another 27.5 seconds back. So I think further issues for Yuri Van Dongen in 5th position in LMP2. So we'll have a quick look at this battle, see how this gap develops, see whether Josh can catch Joe, and then we'll switch back to the GT3s, which is actually really close for Igor Jurovic. I've just seen the deltas, the gaps. If you look at the timing tower, you can see how close they are. I mean, you don't need the timing tower to tell you that, because Igor right on the back of Phil Nauder. So Phil Nauder has really been put out of his stride after the little incident with Hamish Herridge for P2 in the GT3s, and he's been put into the clutches of not only Igor Jurovic, but now Matti Zenko in 5th position. So he's going to be looking to take advantage of both of these cars. He's got a good slipstream here. It's behind Igor. Oh, wrong car. Apologies. Oh, and it's side by side. Let's jump off board quickly if we can, if my mouse decides to work. He's going to get in the slipstream of Phil Nauder, so this might help him out. And will he swoop around the outside like we saw Hamish Herridge do earlier on? He does, and he gets that position. So 4th position for Matti Zenko. Ignore the 5 on the side of the car. That will update when they cross the start-finish line, but he's looking for 3rd position to snatch that away from Phil Nauder.
If we could, Copeland is within a second of Challoner. There he is, crossed the line. Josh Copeland mounting an attack on Joe Challoner. It's going to be the outside. Joe looks to sweep across the front. There's still an overlap. So given what Joe was doing earlier, nice to see him in a battle. Brakes later. Josh flings it in. Really keen to get a cutback there, wasn't able to. They come over the crest to flash the lights. Challoner is being Challonered. If they're simulating marbles on this game, I think Josh has found them. So a bit of a run wide there.
Just a quick one to say that Matt Zenko has got past Phil Nauder to take third in the GT3s.
Yeah, GT3s are just a bit more interesting, aren't they? But hopefully Josh can change that, spice up the P2s. Looks to the inside, Joe with a late move, squeezes him. He's almost off the circuit. Josh running that car low. Sparks fly from underneath both of them. They have a little bang. Yeah, Joe essentially saying, no, it's my podium position. Get your own.
Yeah,
Josh might have something to say about that. Joe's onto the curb stones there on the exit, compromises the exit. Josh now to the centre of the track, returns the favour and says, I'm here. What are you going to do? Joe's on the inside. Not sure Josh is going to be able to go the long way round. He's going to have to take a leaf out of Nauder's book.
Yeah, very quickly recovered from that first little bang and then continued to have another bang between Josh and Joe.
Yeah, Josh there up and through into a podium position, but we have 40 minutes left to go.
We do, and the slipstream is quite prevalent around here in the P2, so it'll be interesting to see if Joe comes back here. He's shaping up for it. Thinks better of it on this occasion. Well, Josh has gone quite deep there and he's gone through the gravel, so Joe will get another run. You just see in the foreground there, that's Alex McGee, who's in P2 in this class, but really the battle at the moment for P3 and P4 in P2s. All over the back of Josh here, the car moving around. Not sure if that's the internet connection or whether Joe's switched to using an Xbox controller down that straight there. The car was zigzagging around. Certainly Josh will be looking. Oh, and he's gone deep in there. Joe's going to get a better run, gets better traction. Josh is going to be staring in his mirrors now because Joe will get a run down here. Which way does he go? Does he try to go to the right-hand side, which will be the inside for the next proper corner? There's a left kink and then it's into a fast right, but Joe has got the inside, but Josh with the racing line sweeps around the outside, as we saw Hamish Herridge do to Phil Nauder earlier on, and he gets that position and it looks a little bit more secure now through the Porsche curves. Oh, and he's lost it. Josh has lost it. As soon as I said he looked comfortable, he's stacked it on the exit of the Porsche curves, lost the rear of the car, and he's made small contact with the wall, but he should be okay, and he's got all of that work to do again.
Yeah, that was shaping up quite nicely until that happened.
That it was. Right, let's have a quick rundown. So, right, Kyle Wright must have pitted, so he's in the pits right now. So this is his first stop, 37 minutes ago, so I'd imagine this will be his first and only stop. So that leaves Alex McGee in the lead of this race for now. With Joe Challoner, we've just been watching 6 seconds down on Alex, and then Josh Copeland's now 9.8 seconds behind Joe Challoner, so he's lost a good 10 or 11 seconds with that spin. And then Kyle Wright emerges from the pit lane, and he will have a big gap to Josh Copeland. And then Yuri Van Dongen just coming through the final complex now. Oh, and he's lost it again. We're a bit of curse of the commentator here. Every time we switch on board with Yuri, he's losing it. I know Yuri very often tunes in to watch the stream, so hello to Andrea, I think it is, his other half. If you're watching, Yuri's not having the best evening tonight. Onto GT3, so Troy Fry currently leads at the front. He's way out in front at the moment after the drive-through for Wally Johnson, who's coming back through the field, it has to be said. So Troy Fry leading from Hamish Herridge, so he's 9.2 seconds ahead of Hamish, but actually Hamish has Matty Zenko for company here as we tune in. A really close battle here. So Hamish in the blue and yellow Skechers liveried BMW, and then Matt Zenko in the turquoise, pink and white Mercedes AMG GT3 cars into this slow right-hander. Who will get better traction onto the long straight. It looks fairly even there. Who's that behind? I think there's been another... I think Phil Nauder just went off the circuit, possibly. Maybe not. Somebody's got... Yeah, so Igor Jurovic all over the back of Phil Nauder for P6 in class. Phil Nauder really struggling. As we saw last week, he turns in. He can't do the same as he did last time when he was on the outside. Igor giving him a good run for his money here. A good showing from Igor Jurovic, currently 5th in class ahead of Phil Nauder.
Yeah, it's been really impressive to watch so far. The list drops down slightly. That back group, yeah, that's Smitty, Sutty, and Koeman, Smitty, and Sutty, all within like half a second of each other.
Oh.
This is going on as well. Herridge into the side, not quite room. Watch the rejoin. There's the rejoin.
Phil Nauder back in a battle with his arch nemesis Hamish Herridge from earlier on. Let's have a quick look at that battle further back, because the gaps are very, very close. There's 2 McLarens, Ferrari, and then who's that? A bit. And that's is that Marco Koeman? Marco Koeman loses the rear out of the final corner, spears into the barrier. I'm not sure if he made contact, but that's really cost him some time there. So he was going quite well in the mid-pack of GT3s, but he's lost lots of time with that spin.
He certainly has.
Sorry, I need
You're
to
right.
restock
You are spot on.
and find out what's going on. So GT3s. Okay, here we go. We'll go through the order.
Nauder.
Nauder. Here we
We've
go.
been here before.
Damage on
Jurovic.
the front of Nauder's car.
Jurovic got the best seat in the house. He's going to watch it unfold. These two have had a battle before. Yeah, that front right looking a little worse for wear on the Aston Martin. Jurovic with a wonderful toe down here. Shall I go left? Shall I go right? Shall I go through the middle? Who knows? Get your popcorn out. You're about to find out. We're going to go down the inside of both of them. Holy moly, he's not got it stopped. The brake discs are glowing. He's rejoined in front of both of them. He doesn't know which way to go. Forces the other beamer off the track. The best run of the lot, it's Nauder in the Aston Martin looking to come back through. So Jurovic really trying to make it stick there.
Really close stuff for these three. Igor trying his luck there. What's happened here?
What's happened where, Paul?
I don't know if I've just got unconscious, but didn't Igor go down the inside, lose it, and then now he's back in front of them both?
How's he back in front? Damage on the other two? Really low downforce?
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
he's
looked
done, but
away.
it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, looked at the screen and then he was back in front. So well done, Igor. He's on a bit of a roll, actually. We've seen some good progression from Igor from when he joined us probably a couple of years ago now. Igor joined us, and he was trying to find his way and find his feet, but really seems to be getting a hold of this platform a little bit now, and he's showing these guys how it's done, certainly for the moment. Just looking at the timing on my screen, it's got red blocks next to certain people's names, and I don't know what that means. No, I can't.
No,
I
me
can't.
neither.
No. We'll just ignore that for now. I can't see any penalties or anything, so I think it maybe just be lap time or something. Not sure. So Phil Nauder's struggling here, isn't he?
It would appear that way.
So I was about to say Yuri Van Dongen was very close, but he's currently in the pits. Joe Challoner in the box. Has he not already pitted? And then Josh Copeland out on the circuit. I've kind of lost track of who's pitted now, so that is a shame, and I've got no way of seeing how many stops they've made. Let me see if I can get that up. So yeah, here we go. So we've got the stop information on the leaderboard. I'm not convinced that's correct, but maybe it is. Wally Johnson didn't have a stop because it was a penalty, so we'll keep an eye on that. We'll flick back to that a little bit later on once all the stops have panned out. We'll get it back onto the intervals, so that number is the gap between each car. Let's have a look for the closest battle on track at the moment. This one's... well, it was fairly close, but it's saying 0.7, but certainly more than that to... Where is Phil Nauder? Ah, he's in the pit lane. That explains why the delta was so close. So let's... we know Phil Nauder is now pitted, so we'll check on the pit stops after this. Let's switch back to see where the close battles are for GT3s. Nothing looking that close, to be honest with you, Tom.
Yeah, we've settled down for a moment, which is quite nice to catch our breath. We are 20 seconds away from being halfway through the race. We've got a high volume of people pitting. We've got some really big gaps. Alex McGee, driven away at the front. But is it Kyle Wright's pitted and Alex McGee hasn't yet?
Let's have a look. So yes, Alex McGee, the only LMP2 car yet to have stopped.
Wonderful.
And we can watch him coming through on some of the faster GT3 cars. So this is Wally Johnson. He's currently in P3 in GT3s. And then the next car that Alex will be coming across will be Matt Zenko. And then Troy Fry.
Nice.
Who's that in the background? None of the intervals look too close at the moment. It looks like Tristan Torley. He's in the pits. Marco Koeman is just pitted. He's currently leaving the pit lane. Let's stick the intervals back on. Apologies. Joe Challoner very close to the back of Yuri Van Dongen, so slightly different camera view there. So Joe hunting down Yuri Van Dongen for 4th position. I think they've both made a stop. I think Yuri may have made more than one stop. Let's have a quick check on that. So they've all made one stop apparently, so Joe Challoner maybe made a mistake. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Joe there, because he was way ahead of Josh Copeland. And it appears they've all stopped, so not really sure on that one. We need our undercover
Pundit. Yeah.
Andrew Wellborn to go and find out, but he's
Andrew Wellborn at the Skypad's going to go and find out for us.
Absolutely, but he's done us a dirty so far, and he's just ignored everything we've said. So it's all right, Andrew. We'll let you off. You do enough. You do enough for us guys, not to have to run around like an idiot after us. So yeah, Joe Challoner looking like he's had some kind of drama, because he's on the same amount of stops, but currently sits in 4th, 33 seconds behind Josh Copeland, who stacked it fairly heavily earlier on. So yeah, unsure what's going on there. Hamish Herridge about basically a second behind Igor Jurovic. Just looking at Phil Nauder, so we know... he's gone round the outside there of Igor.
He's done a brave.
Oh, he's deep on the brakes, Igor.
Oh.
Steady on, man.
Lucky to not take out the 46. Oh, no, he might still do it.
Takes the escape route there. Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. So Igor looked like he'd lost a lot of time through the fast last sector. The high downforce kind of fast sweeping Porsche curve section, and then just got it all wrong when he tried to go back up the inside of the BMW, but he's taken loads of curb through there. I'd imagine that's some kind of warning for a track limit. Jakub on the back of Mike Sutty. Oh, and he's caught it. He's caught it the other way. Well done. He manages to keep it both ways. That has cost him a lot of time though, and that's allowed Tom Smitty to close up on the back of him. So really fighting there. So Phil Nada, who we know is stopped, but he currently sits basically at the back of the GT3 cars. So I'm just going to have a look at the stops for the GT3s. Yeah, okay, so Nauda is the first of the GT3s which have pitted, so we'll keep an eye on how that develops. The cars up to 8th in GT3s, none of them yet, none of them pitted so far. This is the battle for P2 in GT3s. So Matt Zenko currently sits in second, and I feel like Wally Johnson has got good pace. So after that drive-through, he has managed to catch up to the back of Matty. Matty's been making his way through the field, but Wally Johnson has been pretty close behind. Let's have a look at their fastest laps. So Wally Johnson on a 4:02.1 is his best lap, and Matt Zenko a 4:02.9, so 0.8 quicker for Wally Johnson in the Mustang. So he's going to be eager to get back into P2 after that earlier drive-through, and a good recovery drive, it has to be said.
Yeah, certainly finding the pace again. A lot of people having issues that are then able to turn around and still be in the fight. That's a podium, or that was a podium fight in the GT3, so that's looking very positive. Herridge looking to get past Jurovic.
So we saw this battle earlier, didn't we, in the final chicane? So Igor has managed to get back through on Hamish. And now they're letting battle commence once again. Oh, and he dives to the inside. It's late on the brakes. Side to side contact there. It was a bit of a lunge. Igor won't be happy about that, so he'll be straight back on the attacks, flashing the lights. Yeah, tucks into the slipstream, and there'll be more drama, I dare say, down to the next corner.
Yeah, M25 races all over the place. It looks like a public road. It's wow.
Scared him into that, didn't he? Scared him offline and just sent it.
Or was that the voice of experience telling Hamish to just watch yourself a moment?
Yeah, he may take action in these slower sections. Obviously a lot less consequence if you have a bit of contact in these slower sections compared to the flat out section that they've just been through. So he's looking to come up the inside here. He's got a good run down to this hard braking zone, but unable to get alongside. Igor's gone wide though. No, he did get it stopped and goes across the curb. So Igor in a good battle with Hamish Herridge for P4 in the GT3s. We'll have a quick look back at this battle though, because it is very, very close between Matt Zenko in the Mercedes and Wally Johnson in the Mustang. The 555 car you see there coming over the crest, the car moving and bouncing around as the sunlight glints off the roof. Matt Zenko will be looking in his mirror. They're actually only 1.4 off Troy Fry, so that's that silver and yellow Mercedes you can see in the foreground. So these two with much more pace than Troy Fry in the lead. They're both around a second and a half quicker on pace than Troy. So this is going to end up being a three-way battle for first position in GT3s.
Very exciting so far. The timer ticks down. We've lost another 10 minutes since I highlighted it. There's 20 minutes-ish to go. Zenko and Johnson all rather close up behind Fry. Yeah, it's not, well, it is the podium battle, but it's not a podium. No, it's not a battle for a podium. It's a battle to decide the podium.
Absolutely is.
I'm rusty, man. This is tricky.
Wally Johnson goes to the left-hand side of Matt Zenko. He's got good straight line speed. I think he's going to get certainly up the inside into this first left-hander, and he's managed to get past Matt. Matt quite passive there, allowing Wally to go past. Maybe realises he's got good pace and he knows he's going to have an opportunity when Wally catches up to the back of Troy Fry, because they're there now. It's there's no bigger gap between Wally and Troy. So this is P1, P2, P3 for LMGT3. 20 minutes to go, so it's all to play for these three cars in GT3s.
Yeah, a good battle down the straight. You've done the easy bit, Paul, so now I'll waffle about all the complex corners. A bit of a rise here. You see the public road element of the track bumping along over the curbs. Slipstream not really coming into effect. I think, was it Wally earlier that was surrounded by McLarens? And now he's surrounded by Mercedes?
I think he's been surrounded by everything so far with that early penalty. Only probably 5 or 10 minutes into the race he had that drive-through, so it's a pretty good recovery drive. And let's not forget, Matt Zenko, currently in P3, started from the pit lane, having not made the start of the race. And Troy Fry really going to be putting under pressure here, and he's going to do well if he's going to hold on to this first position for the next 19 minutes. He has improved his time slightly, but honestly his best laps are 4:04.2, and these guys on 4:02.1s and 4:02.9s respectively, as Wally just loses a little bit of time there through the fast section. Maybe the downforce lifting off that Mustang and just drops him back towards Matt Zenko once more. But I feel like there's going to be some moves going on into this final chicane complex. Wally Johnson really lining up at the back of Troy Fry. He goes to the inside. Wally they all go into the pit lane. So this is going to be a battle for who can turn over the pit stops the quickest. That's interesting though, because Troy Fry, they're basically limited to the speed that Troy Fry can attack this pit lane and everything else. So this is, we're going to stick with this just to see how this pans out. There is contact in the pit lane as well, so they all have to be careful not to trip over each other as they all go in. Oh, and Wally Johnson turning in on Matty Zenko, because Matty Zenko has to go to the next box, and he has to weave around. If we saw that, he had to weave around the Troy Fry Mercedes, and I don't think Matty Zenko's got it quite stopped perfectly. I'm not sure what that noise is in the background, but yeah, Matty Zenko pulled in early but then had to do a slalom through both cars in order to get to his box, so we might see him come out late. Oh, and the game turns Matty Zenko's Mercedes into the side of Igor Jurovic's car. We see Wally Johnson and Troy Fry leaving, and Matt Zenko still in the pit lane away further back.
I'm assuming this is how much a tank can do, and they all went from full.
I'm assuming so. I'm not sure why.
The entire GT3 grid pitted.
On the same lap?
On the same lap.
Yeah. I'm guessing so. I think they all have similar tanks, but I suppose because it's such a long lap, even if they do have different capabilities on the tanks, they're all going to be within such a long lap. It's not surprising, I suppose. But yeah, the big loser there, Matt Zenko, he is now 14 seconds behind Wally Johnson, who's still not past Troy Fry. So he switched back to this battle. Troy Fry has managed to weather the storm through the pit stop, but he has got 17 minutes of absolute hell here. He'll be really, really lucky to hang on, but good luck to you, Troy. Let's see what he's got.
I'll do the straight this time. They're both driving straight up over the hill. Troy looks to the left of the straight. Good straight line speed out them. What is it, a Mustang?
Yes.
Good straight line speed, but he's getting himself the long way round. But we've seen earlier on people later on the race hanging it round the outside. That's exactly what he's done. Mercedes very tentative over the curb. Gets a bit of a switchback. Let's not rattle the curb on the exit. They haven't, so it's a smooth run onto straight part 2. Again, over a little rise and fall. Kind of a shame this wasn't at night, because then we could talk about it.
Yeah, this would look really cool at night. Can Troy do anything here? Obviously, we know Wally Johnson has probably got the pace of everybody in GT3s, so this could be, barring any mistakes from Wally Johnson, he could have snatched victory in this phase of the race. A blue flag, as that's Josh Copeland comes round to lap the leaders of GT3. He's currently P3 in LMP2. Carl Wright still in the lead. We haven't checked in with Carl for a long time, but he is currently 70 seconds ahead of Alex McGee. Now let's have a quick look at the stops. So everybody has stopped, so we can forget about that for now. Oh, Alex McGee going very wide there, very deep on the brakes. Hopefully we didn't distract him. But yeah, 73 seconds is the gap between P1 and P2. Josh Copeland 28.3 seconds down on Alex McGee. Then Joe Challoner 55 seconds down on Josh Copeland. So not going the way Joe will have wanted in that P2 class. Yuri Van Dongen 5th in P2s, further 7.5 seconds down on Joe Challoner. Wally Johnson, as we've just seen, ahead of Troy Fry for P1 and P2 in GT3s. Then Matti Zenko, who's going to be pretty angry after that pit stop drama in P3. He's currently 15 seconds behind Troy Fry, so he'll be trying to bang in some really quick laps to close that gap. Then we've got Hamish Herridge in P4 in GT3s in the blue and yellow Skechers BMW, and then Igor Jurovic. These two spaced out a little bit after the stops in the two BMWs. Mike Sutty in 6th in GT3s, followed by Phil Nauder, who's not managed to get back through the pits back through the field after that early stop. So he's currently 7th in GT3s after that really quite promising start. Sam Wooldridge in LMP3 managing to make his way back through the field, actually, because Tristan Torley, who we thought had an easy run to victory, is currently 2nd, so he's 12 seconds behind. Oh, and that is... who is that that's spun? Who was that? Was that Yuri Van Dongen in the P2s who spun there? So more issues for Yuri Van Dongen, unfortunately. So yeah, Sam Wooldridge, after the early stop, we don't know why he stopped early. Maybe that was a strategic call. I'll shut up in a minute. I'm sorry, Tom. Is leading.
No, you carry on.
Tristan Torley in the LMP3s. So a few of the GT3s further down. So we've got Jakob in 8th, just currently getting lapped by Tristan. Or actually, that's for position. Oh dear, that's not the way to do it. And Tristan Torley's gone around once again, so the drama continues. We will get through the whole field at this rate. Yeah, Tom Smitty in the Ferrari in 9th in GT3s. Marco Kuhlmann in 10th after we saw him in the wall earlier on. Jeremy Tryon, DNF. Lorne Martin, DNF. And Gert Stewart. Gert Swart, also DNF.
Catch your breath, Paul. Very good. Nauder and Sutty getting close together. There we are. We found the same thing. Inbound prototype. Let's see how this gets on. Hopefully a nice easy pass on the straight. They found each other in a nice place. However, these two have found each other once again. Yeah,
they seem to have a habit of this, don't they? That is the leader. Whoa.
It was Herridge.
Whoa. He's going on.
Whoa.
Who is that? Is that Challoner? That is Challoner. And Wooldridge. So Wooldridge was coming through in the P3 and Challoner was, I'm coming through. Yeah.
Wow.
Indeed. Maybe we need to look at that replay. But Mike Sutty now. So in the similar liveried BMW, Phil Nauder can't play with Hamish Herridge anymore, so he's found another guy to have a play with in the same liveried car, because this is Hamish Herridge. He's currently in 4th overall, but he's quite far up the field, so he's what's that, 5, so he's about 15 seconds ahead of Phil Nauder now. There's obviously Igor Jurovic in, but oh, is this Joe Challoner causing more drama? It is. So Igor Jurovic and Joe Challoner getting together as we're just on board with those guys coming through. So he saw Joe go through and nearly have drama with these two, and he's found the next car along the road and managed to have some drama with them. So, yeah, Joe Challoner not having a good time at the moment, trying to deal with the traffic. Is that Igor? Has he got issues? Has he got damage? He's had to stop. He's pulled over. This will be a shame because it was a strong showing from Igor.
Has he been challengered?
There was contact between Challoner and he goes back to the pits and he's DNF'd. That is unfortunate. So we saw them both going off. So Joe and Igor getting together. So that is unfortunate, and that was going to be a good finish for Igor. So that is a bit of a shame.
That is a real shame. Oh dear.
Joe off again. He's having a bit of a mare here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I reckon he's got... Yeah,
I think he might be going off at the wall soon. I don't know if he's watching the stream, but yeah, we've only been on board with Joe for about a lap, and we've had 3 or 4 incidents within a lap, maybe even
just hope-
5.
I just hope he doesn't take anyone else with him.
Do we start creating a tally of victims? So we've had Igor. Are we about to get Nauda? No, he's okay.
No, look, they've moved well out of the way. They know his reputation. Did you see how far out the way they went?
Yeah, this there's a big speed disparity between the P2s and GT3s, but yeah, it just looks like he's struggling with this car, maybe carrying a bit of damage or something, because he's looking pretty ragged, to say the least. Let's go on board with something a little bit more relaxing to watch, shall we?
Well,
ooh.
talking of relaxing, we will be in 9.5 minutes because
Wow.
that's all we've got.
Oh, is he off again?
Yep.
Yes.
Trying to find the pits.
I don't know if that was intentional.
I don't know. Yeah, well,
Just take a breather,
could
Joe.
be.
Just woosa, okay? Woosa. Right. Joe's in the pits. Okay, probably good. He's overshot. Okay. Wally Johnson, P1 GT3s. Must have some close battles here, Tom. Here we go. This is the only close battle, I'm afraid.
yeah, Nauda's been. It's all right. I don't mind. Nauda's been brilliant all evening. Seen some really good battles from him. Shame he's not fighting for the podium positions with the guys further ahead, but a good showing nonetheless.
Yeah, he's been a bit unfortunate in some of the circumstances he's found himself in, I think. And not quite sure why he was so out of phase with the rest of the GT3 field, whether that was an issue with the fuel settings at the start, we're not sure, because he did take that early stop. Or was I just imagining that? He did,
No,
he
that
did
was-
take an early stop,
yeah.
didn't he? That's right. So, yeah, currently still coming under pressure from Mike Sutty. Looks like he's got quite a lot of damage on the front right of that Aston Martin. But still, only 7.5 minutes to go, so he should be able to drag that thing across the line.
Yeah, so what we've got? 3 more laps, 2 more laps, somewhere there. Yeah, should
Yeah,
be.
7.5 minutes. So yeah, I would say 2 to 3 laps. I'm not going to pretend to try and work that out. Oh, Phil's gone wide there. Oh, we need a bit of a snap for both of them, actually. The BMW getting a little bit squirrely there as well. Trying to see if there's any close battles on time, but honestly, the next closest battle is around 3.5 seconds, which is the battle for the lead for GT3s, which is Wally Johnson and Troy Fry. But yeah, that's just gone up to 4 seconds, and that is the next closest. So we will stick on board for this. I'm just looking at Sam Wooldridge. Yeah, currently kind of fighting with the GT3s a little bit.
He's
Ooh.
just having a play.
Really close now for Mike Sutty. What can he do here? Aston Martin looks pretty strong as well, doesn't it? It's quite interesting that we've seen some of the cars... Oh, he's deep on the brakes there. He did well to get it stopped because he was a little bit deep on the brakes and he was way farther over to the left-hand side than he wanted. Sorry, let me say that again. Farther to the left-hand side than he would have wanted. But yeah, he does manage to get it stopped. And then Phil Nauder goes wide on the next right-hander. So I'll say it again. The battle rages on. It's a favourite saying that one.
Is it?
Yeah. Like ebbing
You've
and
not
flowing.
ebbed and flowed. Yeah, there we go.
There's not so much ebbing and flowing at Le Mans. I feel like Le Mans is... Yeah.
We've ebbed, we've not flowed.
Yeah, there's been some ebbing. Having said that, Phil Nauder and... what's his name? Hamish Herridge. They were ebbing and flowing earlier. That was quite... It was a prime example of ebbing and flowing. It was very nice. Anyway, 2 viewers. I'm not surprised.
Really?
Yeah. We're basically a recording service for the guys racing. That's what this is, Tom. Yeah, they come through the final chicane then. Mike Sutty. Looks like we've got a couple of the P3 cars here. So that's Tristan Torley in the pink P3 car, and that's actually Kyle Wright in the LMP2 car. So let's just watch him through the traffic. He's way out in the lead, 72.5 seconds clear of Alex McGee. So Alex McGee has had a decent showing, really. It looks like Alex has kept his nose relatively clean. He is over a minute behind, but he's kept it more on the black stuff than all the rest of them, it seems. Josh Copeland in third, 12 seconds behind Alex, and then Joe Challoner, he's back out of the pits, still in front of Yuri Van Dongen, but yeah, 143 seconds behind Josh Copeland.
Wow.
So now we wait for a mistake. What's this? Tom Smitty very close to the back of Marco Koeman. So this is Ferrari versus McLaren. The white and red car you see there, that's the Ferrari of Tom Smitty. See his name down at the bottom, and he is catching Marco Koeman in the orange kind of fire livery McLaren. Currently less than a second between them. Interesting to see if he can do anything with only 3.5 minutes to go. We need to be conscious of that so I don't miss the leader across the line as always. Phil Nauder, very, very close, but it's actually to the P3 car of Tristan Torley, who is making his way through in the faster P3 car. Gaps all look fairly consistent. This one ebbing and flowing between Tom Smitty and Marco Koeman. Mike Sutty 1.8 behind Phil Nauder, so he's dropped back a little bit, unable to match the pace of Phil Nauder. See the brake lights glowing on the BMW. They will be coming to the end of their useful life, maybe. Looks like Joe, is that Joe Challoner in the background? It is. Let's have a watch of Joe in that quite battered LMP2 car. He's just over the inside of the curbs there. Does look like the car's kind of twitching around a lot. I'm not sure if he's maybe got some issues with that car, or maybe his sim setup.
Plenty of issues,
yeah.
Plenty of issues with that car.
Doesn't look the nicest thing to drive. Oh, and he nearly loses the rear once again. 2 minutes to go. Keep your eye on the deltas. And he's, yeah, I don't think that car is working, or he's having issues, technical issues there. Mike Sutty getting back on to Phil Nauder, less than a second again. 1 minute 42 to go. Carl Rout still out in the lead. No changes for position. Wally Johnson, we'll quickly look at him. He's now 6.5 seconds in front of Troy Fry after that decent effort from Troy to try and hold on to that. And then Matti Zenko being overtaken by Sam Wooldridge in the P3 car, but Matt Zenko lost all of that time in the pits. He was looking to probably finish P2 and, if anything, battle with P1 if he could match the pace of Wally Johnson.
Certainly was a strange one. I'd be keen to know if it was all induced by the game and the AI.
Yeah, very strange goings on in the pits. It looked like he had to slalom through, which you could kind of understand, but then the game seemed to hold him a long time after it rotated the car. Usually it rotates the car so you can drive out if there is a car in the box immediately in front of you. But yeah, it seemed to hold him for a long time after the pit stop was completed, so not exactly sure what's going on there. Hopefully not an issue with the game, because that would be quite devastating for Matt. Have a quick look at our overall leader then. Kyle Wright, pretty faultless, it has to be said, certainly from what we've seen on the stream, which admittedly isn't a great deal. He's been out front and untroubled for the whole evening. I did say somebody had a lights to flag finish last week, and that was incorrect because they actually started second. However, I do believe Kyle Wright has led from lights to flag, as long as he keeps it together for the next remainder of this lap. So well done to Kyle if he keeps this momentum going. Oh, looks like we had some action there between Phil Nauder and Mike Sutty. Seems to have calmed down. Hamish Herridge just getting overtaken by the P3s. Yeah, looks all good. If we do have any mistakes on this final lap, then we'll try and check in with them. Keeping an eye on that gap between Mike Sutty and Phil Nauder. It currently sits at 1.5 seconds. That is the closest battle. Oh, Troy Fry. Sorry, that's again a P3 going through, catching us out on the deltas there. So not for position in class, but is for position overall. So Sam Wooldridge coming through to be 7th over. Oh, and he spun Sam Wooldridge on the final lap. Oh, and he nearly hits Matty Zenko. Matt Zenko gets away with it. I'm sure Sam Wooldridge probably didn't mean that, but that was hairy stuff for the last lap. Where's Tristan Tollier? He's further back. We're going to have to switch back to Kyle Wright. Let's just check that he's nowhere near the start-finish line. So yeah, a little bit of drama late on for Sam Wooldridge, nearly collecting Matt Zenko. So as I was praising how much progress Sam had made through the field after the early incidents for all of them in that P3 class, really, he then drops it and nearly wipes out the P3 in the GT3s. And he's got is that the leader? Yeah, that is the leader. Teammates, as you can tell by the liveries, that would be dramatic if he came into contact with the leader of LMP2 on the final lap and almost the final corner.
Was a lot, wasn't it? That was shocking.
And Kyle comes across the line to take victory, so that is a lights to flag victory for Kyle Wright. A really good showing for him in the LMP2 class. Pretty faultless, it has to be said. Alex McGee is 45 seconds behind, but that was about 75. Obviously, Kyle Wright going a lot slower now he's finished than Josh Copeland. Only 6.1 behind Alex McGee, so Josh is closing. He's got a back marker there in the form of Marco Kuman in the McLaren. He's currently 7th in GT3s. Let's have a look who's going to be coming over the line. Oh, we've missed Sam Wooldridge take victory in P2. Sorry, yeah, LMP2s, LMP3s even. There's too many 3s and 2s in this damn race. Wally Johnson currently leads GT3s ahead of Troy Fry, and that gap is now quite significant, 13.1 seconds. So I think Troy might have had a bit of a half spin or something there. Unfortunately, we're not managing to catch some of the cars across the line. Hamish Herridge finishes P4 in GT3s. Matt Zenko finishes P3. Just the sequence of where these cars are on track, so we're not managing to see them across the line. So Marco Kuhlmann comes across to take 7th in GT3s, and I think that is Josh Copeland as well, taking P3 in LMP2s.
Breathe.
I'm trying. It's hard. Just waiting for Wally. Everybody else has finished. Wally and Troy Fry. I think everybody else, Tom Smitty, looking like he has also finished. Yep. So everybody finished other than Wally Johnson and Troy Fry, and they get that extra lap on the pack. So the top 7 overall, surely, yeah, finishing on the same lap, which is quite impressive. And then 8th down, all an extra lap behind. So as it is such a long lap, they're managing to stay on the same lap. I'm not sure how that can be the case, but maybe it is, I'm not sure. You'd think the P2s would be able to lap the whole field, but who knows? I'm not going to pretend to try and do the maths. Certainly Wally Johnson has been out there a lot longer than everybody else. Hopefully they'll have enough fuel.
You would hope so, certainly. That hour went rather quickly, Paul.
It did go rather quickly. Luckily we had quite a few close battles that were quite engaging. Something to talk about. It did spread out a little bit towards the end, but pretty good for an hour endurance as Wally comes into the chicanes, throws that Mustang across the curbs. Comes out the final turn, struggles for traction, but that is a victory for Wally Johnson after getting a drive-through early on. So he's actually made 2 trips through the pit lane ahead of Troy Fry. Oh, keep it all together, Troy. You will get P2 in GT3s. Well done to Troy, and well done to Wally in GT3s, and then Matt Zenko in 3rd. So really close, good battle in this evening. It was quite a long one, but went pretty quickly. And thank you very much for joining me, Tom.
All right, we have a little waffle on about all these bits and pieces. It's been quite good fun.
Yeah, generally I'll waffle on and not let you get a word in edgeways, but it's all good fun. And hopefully we can do it again next week. I'm not sure where we are next week. Let's have a look. We are at Portimao.
Oh, very nice.
Algarve, that is Portimao, isn't it? Yes. So, yeah, that's November the 16th, next Sunday. Same time, same place. Try and check in with us, and we'll hopefully do another stream. Yeah, and we may do one midweek, but that's getting less and less frequent, and a little bit difficult to commit to. But thank you very much anyway. Hope all you guys, you can watch this tomorrow or later this evening. Do us a favour and do all the good stuff, which is subscribe to the channel, of course, because it's nice to get notifications when we're live and all that good stuff. So thank you very much once again, Tom.
No worries. I might have been a bit distracted, but we're getting there.
No, that's all good. And cheers to everyone else watching, and we'll see you next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.